Hey friends, this is Dolany TV. Glad to have you aboard back from the studio here today. Finally, it's been a little while as the baseball season, slow pitch season, whatever you want to call it, has gotten underway. And that watermelon that you saw on the short during the wintertime there has been absolutely hot right out of the gate. So what do we know? Well, it's game number 5 tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. One would assume the Oilers, like I said yesterday, have a chance to clinch. Yeah, they have a chance to clinch tonight. I'm trying to make sure the cat doesn't jump up here, but yeah, they have a chance to get the job done. And well, the talk about what comes next seems to continue. We'll have that and more here after. I tell you, friends, if you are new to the channel, of course, this is an all-encompassing Oilers channel. We try and chat everything and all things Edmonton Oilers day in, day out. So love to have you aboard for that. Because Evan Bouchard, he's having a hell of a playoffs, as he has had for the past 3 years. But he's due up for a contract, and the Oilers, you know, they like doling out money here in the summertime because they're going to have to for Connor McDavid as well. Well, let's talk about what the possibility with Mr. Evan Bouchard is. This in from Jason Gregor, and it's something we talked about in the regular season when us fans were, same as we did all year with Skinner, really struggling with comprehending how to move forward with Evan Bouchard. So Jason Gregor seeing lots of talk about offer sheet for Evan Bouchard. It could happen, but it would have to happen before July 5th. Again, even if this is all just hearsay on social media that Jason's seeing and just making a mention of, it's a possibility, like the whole Connor McDavid doesn't re-sign with the Oilers thing. Anything's possible until it does or doesn't happen. But the fact that he mentions a magic date, which that being July 5th, is a key in this whole video. Simply because if they don't have an extension, Bouchard would file for arbitration and his numbers give him a great case. Once he files for arbitration, he can't receive offer sheets. So basically, if Bouchard wants to get his money out of the Oilers, he is going to tie himself to the Oilers completely in that situation. So looking at that from that lens is the Oilers are going to, similar in some respect to last year, have a very crash boom bang, maybe a week and a half between the end of the playoffs and really that July 5th date, if that is going to be the special marker for Evan Bouchard, right? If everything goes according to plan here for the Oilers, obviously, I know nobody really wants to pay Bouchard what some people think he's worth, but the next slide here on the video will show you why he is worth what he is, even though you have to suffer through what you have to suffer through in the regular season most years. But let's be honest here. Would you rather just lose the guy straight up for nothing? Again, if somebody in the NHL is stupid enough to offer up a ton of first-round picks for Evan Bouchard, I think Oilers fans wouldn't mind moving on. Again, as a general consensus, not like I'm just as an average, not as a whole. So that's kind of where we'd look at possibly seeing how money could be divvied up better for this Edmonton Oilers team. But again, look at how you're spending your money now and look at what you would be paying for considering the playoff scoring race, the last 3 playoffs specifically for defensemen. Evan Bouchard far and above. Yes, I know he's played pretty much the most games on that list. But you look at the plus minus at 14. You look 14 goals, 47 assists, 61 points total in 47 games. There is nobody exceeding the point per game total more than Evan Bouchard in this category of the top 4, which includes Brandon Montour, who's had a pretty impactful previous few years until obviously what happened with Seattle this year. Cale Makar, who again, I think he gets lots of credit for what he does, but you'd think he'd be more impactful than that. This year maybe changed the scope of it a little bit because of his, I think, the hand injury that we saw revealed to us in a game there against Dallas. Miro Heiskanen, I still don't know how to say that, and I swear half the people I know right now are Stars fans. 7 goals, 22 assists, 29 points in 39 games played. That's the guy who trails Evan Bouchard in playoff scoring. And yeah, sure, I guess if you want to equate out, would Evan Bouchard still have that more points than Heiskanen in 39 games played? I think the answer is absolutely yes. Now, Heiskanen's stats might be hurt heavily by having played the Edmonton Oilers in the conference finals last year, in which we know for the Oilers and the value of a lot of players, things kind of rose as the playoffs went on, but specifically for some tangible depth players on this roster and some guys that we like to yell at, specifically like Stuart Skinner, that Dallas series was either an oddity or a coming out party for a lot of those Oilers players. And it was huge to see what the impact of that had for the Oilers. Obviously, again, maybe not in games 1 through 3 against Florida, but games 4 through 7. So for the Oilers, again, I think the answer when it comes to the offer sheet and talking about that, right, July 5th, I think the Oilers quite honestly know what it's going to take to re-sign Evan Bouchard. They know what they want to do. I think a while ago we were talking about a possible little bridge deal, kind of like something like Darnell Nurse or something more close to Austin Matthews. Maybe not the dollar amounts, but you understand where I'm going term-wise. And for the Oilers, you can start kind of building from there. Because obviously arbitration is going to be a whole different situation if we get to that, and that'll be a whole nother saga, kind of similar to the offer sheets. But the fact that there is a tangible, kind of definitive offer sheet possibility period, as opposed to what we went through last year with Holloway and Broberg and the whole saga that was pretty much our entire summer, while also searching for a general manager that, well, let's be honest, we're not the hugest fans of, but again, a guy that really had his hands tied by the time he took the job in Stan Bowman. So kind of a situation there where, again, maybe everything throughout last year, throughout the summer, whether it be, Jeff Jackson or Stan Bowman handling it, wasn't handled great. Stan Bowman, even once he had the reins in Edmonton, really didn't do great things necessarily up until right close to the trade deadline. And those assets are just really now paying off, kind of game 1, game 3, game 4 into the playoffs. Now, again, how much of that is related to the Evander Kane situation, not entirely sure. But again, management, outside of anything else, has not had the strongest past 12 months in Edmonton if you look at the hindsight being 2020. That said, the fact that there will kind of be a little bit tighter, more constrictive timelines on Oilers management to get something done or get something will happen, and the outside possibility is lesser because of the constrictive timeline. That is huge as an Edmonton Oilers fan, because let me tell you, as much as I talked about the Oilers being 0-5 against the Kings and stuff, it quite honestly was just for my pure survival of this summer. I cannot go through exactly what we all went through last summer all over again this year, and simply, the Oilers, with how unhealthy they were looking, being out early wasn't a bad option, given the fact that I just simply never was able to truly catch my breath this year. And that's not just on the YouTuber Oilers thing. That's, I think everybody mistakes that. It's like, I want to quit is what everyone hears. No, it's just simply life has been a mess since pretty much when we got going in the playoffs last year. So the fact that, there was a possibility that we were too banged up to go forward, whatever. But now the fact that the Oilers are in this to win this, and we're going the full distance, it looks like, whether it be a win or not, simply put, it is nice to see that the offer sheet drama for Bouchard shouldn't be as intensified and heightened as it was for Holloway and Broberg. But friends, that's going to do it for me here today. I'm going to hit the highway down to the old pub in Calgary for not just the Oilers game, but wing night with the boys here as we go enjoy ourselves a beautiful night out in Calgary. Friends, I am up on out of here.